guys, I'm Andy and I'm here to bring you all things Monday to makeup related. That's your vibe. I'd love it if you would subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, I'm bringing you my first installment of the final critique. So if you want to see what movie we're talking about today and breaking down, let's get into it. So since this is my first episode, I'm just going to give you a little backstory. I used to do this. It was called Horror Talk, where I would just go through the storyline, some trivia, and the kill count, and then my review of the movie. We're going to be doing the same thing. I'm calling it the final critique because this is my final critique of the movie. And I've added a few little bits and bobs, and then we rank it with some stars. So if that interests you, we're going to get into it. I am taking, oh Jesus, my camera, I'm so sorry. I'm starting where I left off, which was in the Conjuring series. That's the movies that we were doing. So if you want to start from the very beginning, I will leave my playlist listed in the description box. But the movie we left off on was The Nun, which came out in 2018. It is a rated R movie, and it is 1 hour and 30 minutes. It has an IMDb rating of 5.3 out of 10. And the storyline goes, when a young nun at a cloistered abbey in Romania takes her own life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together, they uncover the order's unholy secret, risking not only their lives, but their faith and their very souls. They confront a malevolent force in the form of the same demonic nun that first terrorized you in The Conjuring 2, as the abbey becomes a horrific battleground between the living and the damned. So, here are the trivia, which a lot of these actually took me by surprise. So, the filming took place at Corvin Castle in Hondurara. I'm so sorry. And in Sighisoara, Transylvania, Romania. I'm so sorry. Also at Mogosaya Palace near Bucharest, Romania. I didn't know that, they were in an actual castle, in a real place, not a fictional, they built the castle. I think that's really cool. The highest grossing film in the Conjuring universe, but it was also the lowest rated one. Make that make sense. The premise of The Nun resembles folklore surrounding the historical Husaka Castle. The castle was built to seal over a pit purported to be the gateway to hell in the late 1200s. I need to know more about that. What pit, gateway to hell? I need answers. Ingrid Bisu met producer James Wan while making this film, and they fell in love, which, butterfly effect, on June 22nd, 2019, they got engaged, and then they later married in November of 2019. This is the shortest film in the Conjuring universe at exactly 1 hour and 33 minutes. The films in this universe are very long, generally. The first film in the Conjuring universe that doesn't feature Annabelle doll in any way, with the only other movie to do that being The Nun 2. So, that is fun. So now, I know there was a little bit of a trigger warning in the very beginning, but now we're going to get into the kill count, and this one specifically is a little aggressive, so big trigger warning here. We're going to talk about things that are aggressive. We're going to talk about the deaths that are in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, this is the spoiler of spoilers. There are 22 total kills in this movie. Granted, a lot of them are grouped together, but we have Mother Abbess or Abbess. I don't remember how you say her name. It's been so long since I've seen this movie. She was dragged away and killed by Valak off screen. Do you know what I hate about, I don't know why my camera is so shaky today. I am so very sorry. That's one thing I do hate about this series in particular. So many of the deaths are either just talked about or off screen. We have Sister Victoria, who committed suicide by hanging herself to avoid being possessed by Valak. She was revived as a demon zombie, so this was a proxy kill. We have Daniel, who was accidentally killed by Father Burke during an exorcism off screen, and that was mentioned. We have an unnamed person who died of unknown causes off screen. His skeleton is seen, or their skeleton, excuse me. We have an unnamed girl who committed suicide in an unknown manner off screen. That's mentioned. We have 5 unnamed people who were killed by the Duke of St. Carta off screen. The bodies are shown in a flashback. And then we have the Duke of St. Carta, who was decapitated by a Templar knight with a sword, which is shown in a flashback. Assassin's Creed, Templars. Ooh-hoo-hoo. We have Sister Alana, who was killed by Valak off screen. Her body is shown. She was also revived as a demon zombie. Demon zombie, question mark. We have 8 unnamed nuns who were thrown into chairs and walls by Valak. I remember that scene very vividly. I didn't know that killed them. I assumed like they were hurt and they just like passed out. I didn't know they died from that. So we have zombified Sister Victoria, who is decapitated by Frenchie with an axe. Remember that. And then we have zombified Sister Anna, who was set on fire by Father Burke and shot by Frenchie with a shotgun. Shared kill. And I remember that. From like the nun scene on, I very vividly remember this movie. And that's all the kills. Like I said, I don't remember like the beginning parts of the movie, but I remember the latter half. So if that says anything about the movie, I think the nun is terrifying. Like the way that the nun looks is horrifying. Like she really does do the scare. And that's creepy. I didn't like the movies just simply for the fact of how she looked, how she moved at you. I remember being very scared just by that. But I don't think this is one of the ones that I would go back and watch. I know we have to go over another Annabelle movie and The Nun 2. That just didn't sound right. But just to give a heads up, the only movies in this universe I think I would go back and watch now are just the Conjuring movies. None of these extra bits would I go off and watch again. So for me, out of 5 stars, couldn't remember the beginning of the movie. Wouldn't go back and rewatch it, but The Nun does scare me. I did like it. I'm going to give it a 3-star. A tree star. Because it's not horrible. I did enjoy it when I watched it. It did spook me. I did think it was a good movie when I watched it. I do remember that. Just wouldn't go back and watch it now. But I just wish there was more action on screen. Like, especially because it's already a rated R movie. Why can't we just make more things on screen? But I think the trivia is neat. Let me know if you guys like this. As of right now, I want to do these approximately once a month because I want to bring more little bits of horror to the channel. I love everything spooky, and horror movies are my absolute favorite. So I hope that you enjoyed this. That's going to do it for my very first installment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.